welcome to today's video lecture. In today's video lecture, I'll be solving previous year's NEET questions and discussing the answers. And this is for the chapter Animal Kingdom, and we are in part 4 of the series. If you haven't checked out part 1 to 3, please do so. The links will be there in the description box below. Alright, so let's begin. Question number 1. What is true about Nereis, scorpion, cockroach, and silverfish? Okay, this appeared in the year 2007. A, they all possess dorsal heart. B, none of them is aquatic. C, they all belong to the same phylum. D, they all have jointed paired appendages. Okay, so scorpion, cockroach, and silverfish are arthropods, whereas Nereis is an aquatic annelid. So B is incorrect. They all possess dorsal heart. Yes, that's possible because all of them are non-chordates. Okay, so if they have a heart, it will be on the dorsal side. So it's A. They all belong to the same phylum. No, that's incorrect. They all have jointed pair appendages. No, that's incorrect because Nereis has parapodia. Alright, so answer A. Okay, so right answer. Let's go to the discussion. So like I said, non-chordates have a heart in the dorsal side, and all 4 of them were non-chordates. And Nereis is actually, it's Nereis or Nereis, spelled as over here, is an aquatic annelid and has appendages called parapodia. Scorpion, cockroach, and silverfish belong to this phylum arthropod and have jointed appendages. Okay, so yep. I guess we've answered the question though. They all possess dorsal heart. Let's go to the next question. Okay, so question number 2. Biradial symmetry and lack of needoblasts are the characteristics of, and this appeared in the year 2006. A, hydra and starfish. No, that's incorrect. Starfish and sea anemone. Again, that's incorrect. Tenoplina and Bero. Yes, that's correct. Because they're both ctenophores. They have biradial symmetry and lack of neuroblast. D, Aurelia and Paramecium. No, that's incorrect. So the answer is C. Let's go to the discussion. Okay, so what you see here is what a ctenophora looks like. Okay. Now, Tenoplana and Bero are both they belong to the phylum Ctenophora, and they exhibit biradial symmetry, and they don't have needoblasts. Needoblasts are seen in Coelenteratas. Okay, now I understand that in NCERT under Ctenophora phylum they have said it exhibits radial symmetry, but in this question they have specifically said biradial symmetry. So actually Ctenophora do exhibit biradial symmetry. Okay, so biradial symmetry is actually a combination of bilateral symmetry and radial symmetry. Okay, that's why the term biradial. So basically what happens is it can be divided not radially but bilaterally, as in it needs 2 planes for it to be symmetrically divided. Okay, so now radial symmetry, what do you see? You can make multiple axes across the center, but you will get the same size. Okay, symmetrical sizes. In bilateral symmetry, you make a line across and you will get a bilateral symmetry, right? But in biradial you need 2 planes. Okay, now for example what you see here is what a ctenophora looks like, right? So there needs to be a line cut over here, a plane cut over here, and a plane cut right across. Okay, so you will get 4 pieces. Out of that 2 are symmetrical and the other 2 are symmetrical. That's how the skeleton and the outer body is divided in the case of biradial symmetry. Okay, that means it requires 2 planes for it to be cut across. Okay, for it to be symmetrically divided. That's biradial symmetry. A very good example is if you take the letter I. This is to help you understand what biradial symmetry is. Okay, You take the letter I. Now, for it to be divided into symmetrical divisions, let's say you make a line across over here and you make a line across here. That means there are two planes. Let's say I take another and you make a line across here. Okay, so now you have four pieces. This way it can be divided, you will get symmetrical uh, divisions, and the other would be this way. Okay, so these two are symmetrical as well as these two are symmetrical. Similarly, in this case, in Ctenophora, you are making two planes over here and dividing the animal. Okay, that's the skeleton and the outer body. So you will get four, that is two pairs of symmetrical divisions. Okay, a symmetrical part of the body. So that's what is called biradial symmetry, and it is seen in Ctenophora. It's a very unique symmetry that is seen in nature. Usually we have a radial symmetry, we have bilateral symmetry, but Ctenophora phylum is such where you see biradial symmetry, although I understand in NCRT it says radial symmetry. If in the question, if they ever ask radial symmetry, then just follow what NCRT says. But this specific question has specifically said biradial symmetry, although the hint over here is lack of nidoblast. So if you didn't know biradial symmetry, you could have understood from the fact that there is lack of nidoblast also, and clearly C is the right answer for this. Okay, let's move on then. Question number 3. Two common characters found in centipede, cockroach, and crab are, this appeared in 2006. Okay, so two common characters, that's A, book lungs and antennae, no. A compound eyes and anal cerci, no. Jointed legs and chitinous skeleton, yes. Green gland and trachea, no. So the answer is C. Okay, so we know that centipede, cockroach, and crab, they belong to the phylum Arthropoda. Okay, and they have jointed appendages and chitinous skeleton, which is a common characteristics found in the phylum Arthropoda. Yes, all three have antennae. Book lungs are respiratory organs of scorpion, so that was incorrect. And anal cerci is found in cockroaches. Compound eyes are found in insects and crustaceans. Trachea are respiratory organs of insects, and green glands are excretory organs of crustaceans. So basically, I have just uh, put the correct statement in the case of the wrong options that were given there, so that you know why that option is incorrect. Okay, that is why. But to answer your question, yes, they have jointed appendages and chitinous skeleton, which is normally seen in Arthropoda. So that fits the answer. All right, let's move on then. Question number 4. In which one of the following sets of animals do all the four give birth to young ones? This appeared in 2006. A, kangaroo, hedgehog, dolphin, loris. It's probably right. Let's look at the other options. Is lion, bat, whale, ostrich. No, that's incorrect. Platypus, penguin, bat, hippopotamus. Again incorrect. Shrew, bat, cat, kiwi. Incorrect. So it is clearly A. Okay, all four of them are mammals that give birth to young ones. Answer is A. Let's go to the discussion. Yeah, they're mammals and hence they are viviparous. Okay, if you look at the other options over here, ostrich lays eggs. Over here, platypus also is oviparous and kiwi is oviparous here. So that is why A is the right answer. Okay, this was pretty simple. Let's move on then. Question number 5. Which one of the following is a matching set of a phylum and its three examples? This appeared in 2006. Okay, A, Porifera, Spongilla, Eupalectella, Pennatula. No, that's incorrect. There's Nidaria, there's Bonilia, Physalia, Aurelia. No. Platyhelminths planaria, Schistosoma, and Enterobius. No. Mollusk, Loligo, Pterido, octopus. Yes, that's correct. Okay, in this case, you had to know the scientific names of all the animals, otherwise, you wouldn't know the answer. But let's go to the discussion. The answer is D. All three are mollusks. Okay. Okay, so here I have put the phylum and the corresponding animals with their scientific names. So you can learn them. You can note them down in your notebooks if you like. If they ever ask you, also please learn all the scientific names that are mentioned in NCRT. Okay, that is very important. Apart from that, what you don't, that is not present in NCRT or you don't know, you can learn from here. Yeah, so Sporiferous, Spongilla, and Eupillectella, Nidarias, Penatula, Physalia, Aurelia, Annelida is Bonilia, Platyhelminthes planaria, Schistosoma, Nemathelminthes is Enterobius, and Molluscaceus is Loligo, Pterido, and Octopus. Alright, so these are the scientific names and the corresponding phylum in which they belong to. Alright, clear? Let's move on then. Question number 6. What is common about Trypanosoma, Noctiluca, Monocystis, and Giardia? Or Giardia, and whichever we pronounce it, this appeared in 2006. A, they are all parasites. B, they are all unicellular protists. C, they have flagella. D, they produce spores. Okay, so they are not all parasites because Noctiluca is not a parasite. They are all unicellular protists. Yes, that's actually correct. They have flagella, not all of them. Monocystis does not have flagella. They produce spores. No, not all of them produce spores. That's incorrect. Okay, so the answer is B. They are unicellular protists. Okay, that's the common thing between all four of them. This was actually a little difficult question because you had to know what all four of them were. I would suggest pay attention to this. This could be important, but it's important to know what these organisms mean. Okay, so Noctiluca is not a parasite. Okay, they live in marine environments and are dinoflagellated, and it has a property of bioluminescence. Okay, so they are not a parasite, but they have a property of bioluminescence, and of course, they are also flagellated. Monocystis is not flagellated, but yes, it's a parasite. Giardia produces spores or egg-like cells called cysts. Monocystis produces spores in the form of zygote. Noctiluca forms zoospores via sexual phase and then reproduce in the asexual phase. That means Trypanosoma does not produce spores. So that was there. All four of them are protists, that is eukaryotic unicellular organisms. Okay, like protist is a class or a group of organisms in which you have protozoa, you have algae, you have some molds. Okay, so they all fall under the protist category. Okay, so they're eukaryotic, that means they have a nucleus, and they're unicellular organisms, just one cell. All right, this was a little difficult question, I have to agree, because it's not there in NCRT, or it would be very difficult for you to answer this if you're just looking at animal kingdom. Anyway, so now that you know the answer, all right, let's move on then. Question number 7. In contrast to annelids, the platyhelminthes shows, it's appeared in 2005, absence of body cavity. Yes, that's correct. They are acoelomate. Bilateral symmetry, in contrast to annelids, no. Radial symmetry, no. Presence of pseudocele, no. So it's A. Answer is A. So platyhelminthes are acoelomate. Annelids have a true coelom. All right, this is the difference between the two. And okay, this was easy. You can move on. Question number 8. From the following statements, select the wrong one. This appeared in 2005. A. Prawn has two pairs of antennae. B. Nematocysts are characteristics of the phylum Nidaria. C. Millipedes have two pairs of appendages in each segment of the body. Sorry. D. Animals belonging to phylum Porifera are marine and freshwater. Okay, so to select the wrong one here, it's C, which is wrong one. A, B, and D are actually correct. So the answer is C. Okay, so in millipedes, the head segment is legless. Okay, So this is the head that you see. It does not have any legs. Okay, and the next three segments have one pair of legs. Okay, one, two, three. They have one pair of legs. That's the thorax region. Okay, and then the rest is abdomen, and they have 200 pairs of legs, two pairs on each segment. Okay, so that means the statement was incorrect that millipedes have two pairs of legs on every segment. That's incorrect. Okay, and also comes under the class Diplopoda, and you can clearly see their body is divided into head, thorax, and abdomen. Yeah. Yep. So that was the incorrect statement. Here you have a photo of what a prawn looks like. Okay, and you can see that there are two pairs. There's an antenna here. Okay, then there's another pair called antenule. Okay, over here. So there are two pairs of antenna. Okay, these are the appendages that are seen in prawn. Okay, so yeah, that statement was actually correct. Option A. Yeah, yeah. Prawn has two pairs of antennae. That's correct. But millipedes don't have two pairs of appendages in every part of the body, on each segment of the body. That's incorrect. Right? Let's move on. Okay, so question number 9. Which one of the following characters is not typical of the class Mammalia? This appeared in 2005. A. Thecodon dentition is found in Mammalia. Alveolar lungs is also seen in Mammalia. C. 10 pairs of cranial nerves. No, that's actually incorrect. 7 cervical vertebrae. Yes, that's correct. That's a unique feature of Mammalia. You'll find 7 cervical vertebrae. So that's typical. So answer is C. 10 pairs of cranial nerves is not typical, but there are 12 pairs of cranial nerves. Okay, we've also studied this in the neural system. And what are the 12 pairs of cranial nerves that we already studied. So I won't go into details of that, but just remember this is very typical of Mammalia to have 12 pairs of cranial nerves. Right, so I think you answered the question though. Yep, let's move on. Question number 10. In arthropoda, head and thorax are often used to form cephalothorax. But in which one of the following classes is the body divided into head, thorax, and abdomen? This appeared in 2004. A. Insecta, B. Myriapoda, C. Crustacea, D. Arachnida, and Crustacea. Okay, so it's clearly insects. Okay, answer is A. So we already studied cockroach in detail, structural organization in animals where we study cockroach. So we know that cockroach is obviously under the class of insect, and the body is divided into head, thorax, and abdomen. So you have the head here, you have mesothorax and metathorax here. The prothorax leg also over here, pronotum, and then you have the abdomen. Okay, the rest is abdomen. Okay, so yep, that was pretty simple. Body is divided into head, thorax, and abdomen. All right, let's move on then. Question number 11. Presence of gills in the tadpole of frog indicates that, and this appeared in 2004, A. Fish were amphibious in the past. B. Fish evolved from frog-like ancestors. Frogs will have gills in future. Frogs evolved from gilled ancestors. So now presence of gills in the tadpole of frog. The tadpole is the larva form of frog. So it's possible that frogs evolved from gilled ancestors. They came from fishes. So the answer is D. Okay. So the larva of frog is called tadpole and has gills, and that undergoes metamorphosis to an adult frog. So the presence of gills in tadpole indicates that frogs evolved from gilled ancestors. Okay. This is a good question though. Wasn't just direct, you had to think. Yep. Let's move on then. Question number 12. One of the following is a very unique feature of the mammalian body. Okay, this appeared in 2004. A. Homeothermy. B. Presence of diaphragm. C. Four-chambered heart. And D. Rib cage. Um, Homeothermy is not a very unique feature of the mammalian body because birds are also homeothermic, so no. Presence of diaphragm could be. C4 chambered heart is also not very unique. Rib cage is also not unique. That's also seen in birds and other animals. So D. But diaphragm, the presence of diaphragm is very unique to the mammal. Answer is B. So it's very unique and it's an evolutionary trait that differs mammals from other classes. So if you look at, let's say, look at crocodile. Now, crocodile also has a four-chambered heart, although it's not homeothermic. But its way of breathing is different. Even birds don't have that very unique way of breathing, but the muscular diaphragm that we have in mammals and humans also, let's say you've studied the respiratory system, right? You know how the diaphragm works, so it helps us breathe much better as compared to the other classes. Okay, so yeah, the presence of diagram is unique to that. That's also a good question though. It's really good questions. Okay, not just direct where you had to just know the answer. All right, so remember this. All right, let's move on. Question number 13. Cycon belongs to a group of animals which are best described as, and this appeared in 2003, Cycon a sponge. Unicellular, acellular, no. Multicellular without any tissue organization, yes. Multicellular with a gastrovascular system, no. Multicellular having tissue organization but no body cavity, no. It's incorrect. So the correct answer is B. Okay. So it's a poriferan and is multicellular with no tissue organization. So each group of cells perform their own function. Okay, they don't like group together to form a tissue. Okay, so they are multicellular, but they don't have the tissue organization in them. So they're very basic structure. All right. Okay, let's move on then. Question number 14. During the life cycle of Fasciola hepatica, liver fluke infects its intermediate host and primary host at the following larval stages respectively. Okay, this appeared in 2003. So to find which larval stage infects the intermediate host and the primary host. First of all, you need to know the life cycle of liver fluke. Otherwise, this question will not make sense at all because you don't know what you're reading, right? So they've given you an option, a list of all the larvae that are found in the life cycle of Fasciola. To answer your question immediately, it is D. Meracidium, which infects the intermediate host, and Metacercaria, which infects the primary host, which is ruminant animals and humans. Okay, so the answer is D. But to understand this question better, let's go to the life cycle to understand that. Okay, otherwise then this question will not make sense. So Meracidium infects the intermediate host, which is the snail. Okay, and Metacercaria is the infective stage and infects the primary host, which are ruminants and humans. So Metacercaria is the infective stage of this liver fluke. Okay. All right, so here what you see is the full life cycle of liver. Now in human health and disease, I did not explain the life cycle of this liver fluke, so that's why I'm doing it here now. All right, so yeah, so let's begin. Let's say from here, okay, you have the liver fluke, which is now in the biliary passage. Okay, it has entered the biliary passage and the adult worm is present there and it is now laid eggs. Now the eggs are this whole bunch, okay, and this comes out in the feces, okay, the fecus. It enters the water and the egg embryonates in water, okay, which then gives rise to a free swimming meracidium, okay, which penetrates snail. Okay, now once it goes into the snail, now remember meracidium is free swimming and it infects the snail. Okay, it forms a sporocyst. Okay, now sporocyst, the first generation of the sporocyst is called radia, and the second generation, there are two generations. Okay, the sporocyst converts to first generation radia and then into the second generation radia, and all this is happening in the snail. Okay, now radia gives birth to free swimming cercaria. Okay, free swimming cercaria in water plants. Okay, and these then turn into, or they metamorphose into metacercaria. Okay, now metacercaria is the infective stage. Okay, it then is consumed by herbivores or man. Okay, that's ruminant animals like, cows or goats. Okay, and man, if man consumes these water plants that are infected with free swimming cercaria, they will then be ingested into the human body. Okay, and it exists in the duodenum. That means it comes out of the cyst. Okay, and penetrates the duodenal wall. It enters the peritoneal cavity, it penetrates the liver and settles in biliary passage, where it becomes into an adult worm. Okay, the adult liver fluke that we know. Okay, so that's how then the whole cycle repeats again. The adult worm then gives lays the eggs, and again it comes out into the fishes, into the water, and again the free swimming meracidium goes into the snails. Okay, and the cycle repeats over and over again. All right, so basically this is how the liver fluke functions, and that's how it infects humans. Okay, so over here the intermediate host is snail. Okay, an intermediate host is infected by meracidium. Okay, infected host is the intermediate host is infected by meracidium, and the human is infected by metacercaria. Okay, if I go back, yeah, so to answer a question, yes, it infects its inter, and I've explained the life cycle to you. If you can, if you want, you can note it down, although it's not really mentioned much in the animal kingdom. But to understand, yes, it's important that you then learn the life cycle of Fasciola hepatica. Yes, it infects its intermediate host, which is meracidium, that's the snail, and the primary host, which is human or herbivorous animals, is metacercaria. All right, so if you want, you can note this down in a notebook and learn it. Okay, and learn the different larvae that are there, because there are multiple larvae. There is you have meracidium, then you have cercaria, they have metacercaria, and then it just goes on and on and on. Okay, in between you have the sporocyst, which is called the radia. Okay, and goes through two generations before it gives birth to the free swimming cercaria, which attaches to the water plants. Okay, now this is where the problem is, that water plant cercaria gets metamorphoses into metacercaria, which is, if this is consumed by herbivorous animals or man, these water plants which have cercaria in it, then they get converted into metacercaria, which infects the humans. Okay, all right. Okay, let's move on then. Okay, so question number 15. Ommatidia serve the purpose of photoreception in, it's appeared in 2003, A. Cockroach, B. Frog, C. Humans, and D. Sunflower. Okay, so Ommatidia serve the purpose of photoreception in A. Cockroach. Okay, answer is A. Okay, so here I briefly explain what Ommatidia is. Okay, so in insects, the eyes compound. So if they ever ask you what kind of eye is there in insects, it's compound eye, and they have like individual units packed together. Okay, now these individual units are hexagonal in shape, they're transparent, and they are biconvex. Okay, and are called Ommatidia. So each eye in the insect has about 2000 Ommatidia in it. Now, to understand the detailed structure of Ommatidia, I put a picture over here of what it is, right? And it's divided into two parts. The diopteric part, this is a receptive part. Okay, so diopteric part is where the focuses the light rays that is coming from the object. Okay, and this receptive part is which converts this into image. Okay, and then into an impulse. Okay, it converts the image into an impulse and is conveyed to the brain through nerve fibers. Okay, so the light rays enter and the image is then converted to a nerve impulse and it is sent to the nerve fibers into the brain. Okay, so now since they have a compound and there are lots of ommatidia present, so each ommatidia receives this uh, light rays, okay, and they form an image. So what these cockroaches or any insect, let's look at a cockroach, they see a mosaic type of vision. Okay, so it's a combination of parts of that object and its rays entering the eye, which is then getting converted into an image. So you see not a very like clear picture like how we see, but parts of it coming together to form one image. Okay, that's called a mosaic vision. So yeah, this is what a structure of the eye of a insect looks like, this particularly cockroach. So you have the corneal lens over here, and then you have the ommatidia arranged over here, and then you have the basement membrane and the optic nerve. Okay, so you have let's say you have a picture of a book over here. You have a book placed over here. Okay, and so it's kept in front of the cockroach and it can see one part of that image will go, the light rays will move here, it will go here, it will go here, it will go here, it will go here, and it's so on till all. There are about 2000 ommatidia in each eye, right? Just imagine. And it'll all these impulses will then go down into the optic nerve and form one image over here. Okay, so each ommatidia is receiving only part of that object of the light rays that is moving into the eye. Okay, so yeah, that's actually called mosaic vision. So yeah, it's called a mosaic. I've not written that here though, but here we are specifically talking about ommatidia, so we'll not go into that. But yeah, if you want, you can note this down. But to answer your question, it was okay. It was pretty simple. Ommatidia serve the purpose of photoreception in cockroach. Just remember that. Okay, which helps to see. All right, let's move on then. Question number 16. Which one of the following is a matching pair of an animal and a certain phenomenon it exists? This appeared in 2003. Ferretima, sexual dimorphism. No, that's incorrect. Musca, complete metamorphosis. Yes. Chameleon mimicry. No. Tania, polymorphism. No. Okay, so it's musca, that's housefly, and it exhibits complete metamorphosis. Okay, Ferretima are hermaphrodites and chameleon have color changing abilities. They don't mimic anything. Tania are hermaphrodites. Okay, so Musca is actually housefly. Okay, so they have a egg stage, then they have a larva stage, sorry, and they have a pupa stage, and finally the adult stage. Okay, so it undergoes all these four stages to form the adult stage, right? From egg to larva to pupa and then finally adult. That's called complete metamorphosis. Okay, and incomplete metamorphosis is when the pupa stage is not there. Okay, so there's the egg, there's larva, and then directly to an adult. Okay, that's incomplete metamorphosis. But musca exhibits complete metamorphosis. All right, clear? Yes, I've answered the question though. Yeah, let's move on. All right, so question number 17. Given below are four matchings of an animal and its kind of respiratory organ. Okay, and we have A, B, C, D to find the right option. It's up in 2003. Silverfish trachea. Yes. Scorpion book lung. Yes. Sea squirt pharyngeal slits. Yes. Dolphin skin. No, that's incorrect. So A, B, and C are actually correct. The answer is B. Let's go to the discussion. So I've noted the animal and the corresponding respiratory organ along with that. All right. So this is pretty simple, very direct. You can note this down. Okay, let's move on then. Okay, so question number 18. In which of the following animals nerve cell is present but brain is absent? This appeared in 2002. A, sponge, B, earthworm, C, cockroach, and D, hydra. Okay, so nerve cell is present but brain is absent, and the answer is D, Hydra. Okay, answer is D. So Hydra does not have a brain. Okay, instead they have a network of nerve cells and their processes. Okay, but sponge does not have any uh, nervous system as such. It's a very basic organism. But Coelenterata, if you move ahead in the evolutionary ladder, you see Hydra also does not have a brain, but they have a very basic network of nerve cells. So to answer your question, Hydra is the right answer. Okay. All right, let's move on. Question number 19. In which of the following notochord is present in embryonic stage? A. All chordates, some chordates, vertebrates, non-chordates. This appeared in 2002. So notochord is present in embryonic stage in all chordates. Okay, that's a very characteristic feature that is seen in chordates. So all chordates have notochord. Answer is A. So you see the notochord here. Alright, so notochord is present in the embryonic stage in all chordates. Alright, let's move on. Question number 20. In which of the following animals hemocyanin pigment is found? This appeared in 2001. A. Annelida, B. Echinodermata, C. Insecta, and D. Mollusca. So it is D. Mollusca. The pigment hemocyanin is found. Answer is D. Okay, so Annelida blood contains hemoglobin dissolved in plasma, but RBCs are absent. Echinoderms have no blood. Insect blood is colorless, composed of corpuscles and plasma. And the mollusks contain a copper-containing blue respiratory pigment called hemocyanin. Okay. So question number 21. In which of the following animals post-anal tail is found? And this appeared in 2001. A. Earthworm, B. Lower invertebrates, C. Scorpion, and D. Snake. Okay, so which of them post-anal tail is found? Earthworm, no. Lower invertebrates, no. C. Scorpion, no. And so the answer is D. Snake. Okay, so the answer is D. Let's go to the discussion. Snake we know is a chordate and hence contains post-anal tail, which is a very specific characteristic seen in chordates specifically. Okay. So yep, let's move on then. Question number 22. In Hydra, waste material of food digestion and nitrogenous waste material are removed respectively from. This appeared in 2001. So material of food digestion is removed from mouth, and nitrogenous waste material removed from the body wall. So the answer is C. Okay, so the discussion. So Hydra we know is an cnidarian, and so they have a single opening mouth on the hypostome. So the hypostome is like a raised structure over here. Okay, and this acts like the mouth and anus. Mouth as well as anus. Okay, this leads into the gastrovascular cavity. Since it acts as the mouth and anus, all the food waste products also go out from there. In the case of nitrogenous waste, since it's a monotelic, okay, organism, the main excretory product is ammonia. It's excreted through the body surface via diffusion. Okay, so nitrogenous waste products are removed via body wall, and in the case of food based products, it is through the mouth. Food digestion, yeah. Waste material of food digestion is mouth, and nitrogenous waste material is body wall. Okay, so yeah, answer this question. Okay, so we've come to the end of this video lecture, and I hope you've enjoyed today's video lecture, and I hope you learned something new today. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to MJ NEET Biology. And I'm also there on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, so you can follow me there for more updates. And I'll see you in the next video lecture. All right, bye.